Hey Bulldogs, so back to school night just ended and the parking lot out there is packed. And I don't think I'll be getting home too late. So while I wait for cars to empty out, I said this is a good time for me to take the rest of this video because it got cut off a little short because I was so passionate about this stuff. So let's review real quickly. Characteristics of Renaissance art. This features just Italian Renaissance art. We spoke about patrons, so we have realism and expression, perspective, classicism, individualism, and geometrical arrangement of figures, which is where I think I sort of finished up. So the idea is that you see sort of the geometry in the way the person is painted, in the way they're arranged, in the way they're sitting. So it's either a person or a group of people. So this was one example. The Last Supper is another example. There's plenty of other examples I can show you in class, but try to find some yourself. Look at Renaissance art and say, like, do you see trapezoids or triangles or geometry here? Once again, showing that math isn't really unique or separate from art or from anything, right? Things blend together. There's another example. So 6 is lighting and shadowing. This is the idea that these Renaissance artists said, we need Snapchat and Instagram filters. Of course, not exactly what they were thinking, but the idea is that sometimes things are too harsh when you're painting it realistically. You don't really want to see where one line ends and where one line begins. If you think about it, that sort of is realistic because when you look, right, take a look around. Is everything in your periphery perfectly clear? Or is some things that you're focusing on clear and things off to the side are a little fuzzy, right? Plus there's real light in the real world. Sometimes you have light from on the ceiling. Sometimes there's light coming in from outside. Back then, maybe it was candlelight. So that should be reflected in the paintings as well. So these are two famous Da Vinci paintings. And I can talk more about the one on the left that you probably haven't seen as much in class. Someone about to get married, again, is I think what they think it was. And then, of course, the Mona Lisa, which I'm sure you've seen many times. And the Italian terms for this, which I'm probably saying wrong, are sfumato and chiaroscuro. And the last characteristic is the idea of artists as celebrities. So back then, right, when patrons sponsored these artists to commission to paint their portrait, to paint a ceiling, to paint the walls, it was more than just their artwork that was appreciated. You were someone who was educated and learned and cultured, and having the artists around you is a way to show off your prestige and your social status. So people wanted celebrities in their lives, and artists, these good artists, these famous artists, sort of led the life of celebrities at that time, right? This is before pop culture. This is before the Ariana Grandes or the athletes, right? This is a painting. There's a few different paintings of Da Vinci's death. So an example of Da Vinci being a celebrity, he actually lived the final years of his life with the royalty in France. Because what's more awesome to show you're powerful in France than having Da Vinci come live with you guys, right? So that's the 7th one. I made a goofy video on how to understand these 7 characteristics by studying the Kardashians. I'm not going to have questions for you guys on it, but I'll probably put the link here. Feel free to watch it. Maybe you'll get a laugh, but more importantly, maybe it will help you understand these 7 characteristics even better. So see you guys later. As always, please ask if you have questions.